Hi. When you visit or move to a new place, you begin noticing things that locals might not. These could be things that are relatively invisible to members of a neighborhood or a community. They could be accents, smells, graffiti, or just habits coming from a culture. So my name is James Walker, and I'm new to Richmond, Virginia. When I moved here, one of the things I noticed were these abandoned bicycles. They're all over the city. So someone steals the front wheel, then the other wheel disappears, and then it seems to be fair game for handlebars, brake cables, seat, crankshaft, pedals, whatever. And then these frames sit there locked to a tree or pole for forever. I mean, it seems something like years, and they begin to rust, and no one does anything about them. So I'm not sure if the owner of the bike, finds their bike missing a wheel and decides to abandon it, or if they, went to school here and graduated, and it's their gift to the city when they move. So I do know that where I'm from, when someone steals a bike, they steal the entire thing. So, I moved here from St. Louis to pursue a master's degree at Virginia Commonwealth University in graphic design. Thank you. And during my first year, we were assigned a semester-long project to repurpose an expelled banner from the Virginia Center for Architecture. So my banner is small, 3 foot by 8 foot, black with white trim and orange text reading American Ruins. So I spent a lot of time trying to think of things to do, built miniature structures, built wearables for transients. And then my professor showed me this, it's an obituary postcard from the Netherlands, which was white with black trim, the exact opposite of my banner. So this connection to death reminded me of the bikes I'd been seeing, and I chose to use the banner to memorialize the bikes. So Dead Bikes was born. You know how you get someone to notice something in an environment? It's through disruption. So you want to change their expected sight or behavior, and they'll pay attention for a second. So the idea was to shroud the bike using the banner. So memorialize this machine that we spend so much time with, exploring and exercising. Then, via a website that you can look at on the shroud, you can connect to a virtual community where you can submit images of bikes you found yourself or leave questions or comments for me. So I realized pretty quickly that one shroud wasn't enough, so I ordered 150 foot of black Tyvek, and I silkscreened with some grad friends of mine 15 more shrouds, and we put them all over the city. So some stayed for a few days before being taken down, and some stayed for several weeks before finally succumbing to the elements. One in particular on VCU's campus was adorned with flowers and notes to their friend the bicycle. This one reads, "A bike is a best friend. I'm sure you were a great one." So it's beginning to humanize this bike through the memorial. My favorite was the visceral response where someone burned the shroud on top of the bike, leaving a weird pile of black goo on the sidewalk. People started blogging about it. They started connecting to me via Facebook, and they would submit ways of removal, phone numbers to call. They would mock the project, or they would even offer use of their vehicles or tools. Local blogs began posting about it, and because it's all virtual, I can cyberstalk them and see what they're saying, and thankfully everyone was really nice. So the project stopped being kind of a graphic design experiment and kind of turned into a platform for community building. And while it was small, the community that was involved was genuinely interested in the project and used it as a platform for discussion and debate. There's also, how do you bring about awareness? And, there's a lot of big problems in the world worth solving, but there's also some smaller problems in the world that you can solve through kind of some strange ideas. And sometimes these smaller ideas are more important to people because it, directly affects an area where they reside. So for me, noticing something, I started this project, and then people started getting involved. So really, what this is about is, what aren't you noticing in your community or neighborhood because you've been there so long, and what would you do with something once you noticed it? So because I'm new to the area, I noticed these bikes, and I decided to do something about it. All of a sudden, I have this big social awareness project, and I have this community voice for something I really care about, bicycles. Thank you.